Hello there. So with the impractical shrine solutions coming to a close soon, I wanted to go over my 5 best shrines of the wild. I'm not including the blessing shrines or combat shrines in this because this is going to be for the inside puzzles. And it would be pretty hard to compete against the recent blessing shrine solutions like taking a bear into Lome Labyrinth Island or defeating every Hinox without touching the ground. But before I can properly judge them, there were a couple of shrines I did not like the solutions to. They were kind of a cop-out and I went back to redo them to have proper ridiculous solutions. Bosh, Mogg, Latan, and Voo Lota. That's right. I went back to give the worst shrine a second chance. Spent hours in there, descended into madness, and I came up with something. But not something anybody really saw coming. So first up is Bosh. I did this a day or even the hour that BLSS was found. I immediately did a BLSS and called it done. Because of the large gap here, there isn't really anything to do other than what is intended, open the paraglider. But coming back, I was able to use a wind bomb to get up to this little crevice here, which I avoid wind bombs in this entire series unless it makes things more impractical, because wind bombs just make things easier. It's not more ridiculous. But getting up here allowed me to cross the gap and then hop up on this wall using this fan, and then onto this candle, torch, lighting fixture, then onto the archway, and then jump to the end with a little bomb to push me up. It only took like 20 minutes. I've gotten really good at these dumb jumps over the years. Mogg Latan here was completed by flinging myself to the end. It was neat and funny and it went straight to the end, so I just used it. But that's actually kind of practical. So instead, I used the same method but went up onto the rafters and very cautiously walked through. Jumped between these two, which looked way further than it actually was, and floated down. Used a bomb to avoid using the fire, and that was it. It was definitely more fun than just skipping it, and it made these pretty good honorable mentions. I'll get around to Voo Lota at the end. It's like 194th out of 120. Now these shrines are being judged based on design, difficulty compared to how difficult it is to get to the shrine in the overworld, and flexibility in the solution, i.e. how impractical and ridiculous they could be done. Number 5. Rin Oya. This is the shrine where you drop the Jerry and let the winds push him to the end while you wait on the elevator. It's not too difficult and it's next to a stable so it'll commonly be found, so it is well placed. It's spacious enough to have flexibility with the solution, and the flexibility is what makes it so good. This was one of the first multi-solution shrines that I did. I came up with 6 solutions and probably could have come up with more. With a bunch of magnetic objects to work with combined with a cause and effect intent, Jerry go in hole, elevator go up, it made for so many different opportunities. And of course, saving Jerry by creating stasis stairs was the best. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I went back to all of the earlier shrines and saved the Jerrys. Jerry was not formally named until like halfway through the series, so I didn't take them all to the end early on. So it was only right to go back and save them all. Number 4. Shea Mosa is located inside of a town and it's not too difficult. The town is Goron Village, so it does get a little bit of leeway with difficulty, as Goron Village is not the easiest town to reach. The whole theme of this shrine is to use the swinging lanterns to burn things for the puzzles. Obviously, the impractical solution avoided using the lanterns. This shrine loops back in on itself at several different places, which allows for some pretty crazy things, including the first use of a wind bomb to make a solution more impractical by bringing a stone barrel back to the beginning and using it to wind bomb to the end. And at the end, we grab things and take it back to the beginning, and I think you see where this is going. This shrine was an absolute blast to solve ridiculously, and we even made a new friend, Ed. Number 3. Hawa Koth is one of the first shrines I did on stream. It's all about making connections with lightning. So I made my own chains instead of carrying the ball. I dupe weapons and daisy chain the electricity all the way to the end, playing a very stressful game of operation as to not touch the bulbs. This shrine rose the bar for impractical by a lot early on, and I think about that a lot. So much so that K-No used a similar method, but it wasn't nearly as crazy, but still pretty good. Number 2. The final two were pretty tough to decide between, as I really like both of them. But coming in at number 2, and I know many people don't like this shrine, is Shora-Ha, inside of a volcano, so it has every right to be difficult. And it is massive, with so many different smaller puzzles to work with, having good aesthetics allowing for weird maneuvers, and of course, a friend here. The entire theme of this shrine is to use the blue flame throughout the entire shrine. So obviously I didn't use it at all. I did yeet a torch at one point as a solution for one part before deciding not to use the blue flame at all. Obviously, because there was a friend here, it was taken to the end, which made it so much better because failure now has a price. It would despawn if I fall in the lava, and it doesn't respawn, because it was supposed to be a one-off obstacle. The whole thing was fun, so I'm not going to spoil it all, just go watch it. But the size of this shrine, having a bunch of smaller pieces within it, it brings back the feelings of traditional dungeons from older Zelda games. Number 1 giving a similar feeling, but this one was not my favorite impractical solution. The final shrine is also what I believe to be the best shrine in the game, and I'll explain why. Number 1. It might come as a surprise to some of you that Kami Attack is number 1, but there are quite a few reasons. It's another massive shrine with a bunch of smaller pieces. Smaller pieces making for a more fun, bigger picture. And everything inside is manageable. Considering it's not far from the plateau, that's perfect. The theme of this shrine is power, or heavy hit hard open door. And it does it in several ways. There's a swingy ball, roly ball McSquish here, an apparatus, which is not required at all because it uses this metal ball here, making it magnesisable. There's a roly ball with stasis platform action, and a battering ram. To fight off enemies here, to go with the theme, there's a heavy weapon, an Edge of Duality, giving you a powerful weapon to deal with enemies as you may not be properly equipped, being that this is near the plateau. This shrine here also gives the old dungeon feel, and it does it the best. Every single one of these little rooms are separated by a door. Complete the objective, door opens, you continue. Very, very similar to older Zelda games. It does a very good job of bringing the openness of Breath of the Wild and the older Zelda dungeons together. But the impractical solution is what really truly pushed it over Shora-Ha for me. Doing all of the puzzles, but in reverse. And I am a sucker for doing things backwards. When a game says I have to do something in a very specific order, I will always try to find a way to do it in the opposite order. Well, that's my list. So what are your favorite shrines and why? Let me know down there. But before I go, there's still a shrine which I did not like the solution to. It was my worst shrine in Breath of the Wild, as it is the polar opposite of Kami Attack. But like the other two at the start, I just took what I could and left. I wrong warped to the top and ollie clipped in. So I came back to Voo Lota. I wanted to give him a second chance to redeem himself. I decided, why not? Let's do the entire loop in reverse. At first, it seemed pretty promising. A bomb jump between platforms, floating down without the wind, and then it came to a grinding halt. Without wind bombs, there's nowhere to go. So I said fine, I lowered my standards, I'll wind bomb. Of course, after I said last time, man, I'm never wind bombing again. Voo Lota would be the one making me wind bomb again. They're really annoying to land, so that's good. So I was able to continue my reverse loop. I even landed on this fan once, which, fun fact, updates your respawn coordinates when you're on top of it. Which, because you can easily continue the shrine from here, I guess I can see how an argument could be made as to why it's updating up here. But after making it all the way around, the only thing left would be to explode myself up into that tiny hole and leave because Voo Lota does not deserve the satisfaction of being finished.
We're just done with phrasing, right? That's not a thing anymore?
After an hour or so, I did manage to get in the hole, and the door slams shut as you approach. And I fall straight down. And even if I did it from another angle, the door does not reopen with Link present near it. Instead, I'll land on the fan here, which is on the other side of the ladder, so I can clip through and then I should be able to leave from— Of course there's a space between the fan and the ladder. Alright, okay. This is fine. I'll go out of bounds. There's nowhere to clip out from within the puzzle, but lava is just water. We'll overload collision and try to escape, and then wind bomb back up from out of bounds, and ollie clip in like before. But this time, we're gonna leave. Yeah, this is the sound plan. This will be great. But no! After an absurd amount of blades, collision finally overloaded, and I've overloaded in almost every source of liquid in this game. Even in shrines, and it never takes this many. It's so many blades. The game is so laggy at this point. But as you can see, there was no way I was gonna get back in the entrance that easily from here. And of course, if I jump and try to get out of bounds, I void out! And what's worse, something I can only explain as because Voo Lota. Respawn coordinates update down here, because why not, right? Collision's overloaded so I can't wind bomb out, and if I touch the wall or if I jump, I void out. He's trapped me down here with him. He won't let me leave. Oh, but you've made a grave mistake today, Voo Lota. I am not trapped in here with you. You are trapped in here with me. I will do something impractical here. I'm going to continue duplicating, and duplicating, and duplicating, until there are no more particles, no more effects. Time will begin to slow to a crawl. Nothing will be left. Nothing. We have no magnesis, just the spooky ghost blade. Ooh.